Okay, guys, give me just 1 minute. I'm getting the Zoom all the way connected, and then we can start this introduction. Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Videos. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So let's get going. I am Mr. Shirley. This is College Algebra second 7-week. This will be a 7-week class. It starts today. Ooh, my trash needs to be taken out. It starts today, and then it's going to go through the final till the end of the semester. We will have a week off for Thanksgiving break, which is nice. Today, my goal is to go over Blackboard, to go over the syllabi, to go over the structure of the class, because especially in kind of this COVID era, I have to hear that again. That's really kind of what I think is one of the most crucial things, is to just see how the class is structured and your kind of different options you have for the class. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask. If you want to wait till the end, that's fine. If you want to stop me in the middle, that's fine as well. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I think I'll probably answer a lot of them as we go. So you might want to wait till I get done just to make sure I haven't answered it. Okay. So first off, let's go through the Blackboard shell, and then I'm going to go through the syllabi and the schedule and stuff like that. So I'm going to share my screen over here. Give me just a minute. Share screen. I want to share the one right there. Okay. This is what your Blackboard should look like. Now, mine looks a little different because it's the faculty version. It's not the student version. And the only thing different, I believe, is, I've got these options down here. And the test tab, that test tab, you won't see it until we have the first test put into it, okay? If there's nothing in a tab, it just won't show up on your side. But if you notice, top to bottom, and we've got announcements, syllabus, schedule, extra. Now, this was from the last class when I copied it over. There's 2 different videos on how to solve by factoring, how to solve by the square root method. We'll get to that tomorrow, but it's just a little extra resource if you haven't seen it in a while. If you're coming from intermediate or the developmental math 2, you've seen it already. We just went over it last week, but there are some extra resources there. And if I find stuff that I think is important, that's kind of extra, like not really a video, because I'll put that in the lecture videos, but if there's something else, some sort of worksheet or something like that, I'll put it here. We probably won't use this at all the entire semester, to be honest with you. Your grade book is here. Email me. Now, I think if you email me, this was an issue last semester. If you email me, when you click on it, you've got to click all instructor users after you click on it, and that'll go to me, okay? So if you want to email me, that's how you get to it. And I would actually prefer you to email me through Blackboard, because it lets me know which class you're in. And that's been a big issue this semester. I've had a lot more emails than I typically have, because I'm not meeting everybody in person, right? If it was in person, a lot of you guys could ask me these questions in the class, and I would know which class you were in. But having a big issue where students are emailing me asking me questions, but the question pertains to the class they're in, and they're not telling me which class they're in. So if you email me through here, I'll know exactly which class you're in. If you want to email me just to my regular email that's in my syllabus, please make sure to put, College Algebra 7-week or College Algebra second 7-week or something like that, just so I know which class you're in. It helps me answer your questions better and more straightforward. Okay, so the test, again, if you click on it, nothing's in there now, so that's why. But whenever we go to take a test, it will be in that folder, and we'll go over that more once we get closer to the tests. Zoom information, this is the meeting. So if you want to go, again, I know you guys watched that little 5-minute video, but if you want to go straight to the meeting, you can click here, and then the meeting ID is there. Now look, it's the same meeting ID you guys for the first developmental, or the first 7-week class. So however you got to the first one, you should be able to get to it the same exact way. Okay, so let's go through the syllabus. And if I'm going too fast, just let me know. But so that's me, my office. I'll tell you, office hours, which are right here, are a little different this year because they don't want more than one person in our offices. They're too small for that. So if you want to meet in person to ask me a question, that's fine. I've met a few of you guys this semester. We'll probably just find an empty classroom to meet in during my office hour to go over. If you've got like a math question you want me to go over. And I don't mind Zooming either. If you want to Zoom in and ask me during my office hour, that works perfect as well. Either one is a-okay. Email is the best way to get in touch with me, hands down, period. My phone is in my office, and it's not that I'm not in my office that often. It's that the email goes directly to my cell phone, right? So I'm more in touch with my cell phone. If I don't answer it over the weekend, it's because that's my time, and I will get back to you on Monday. But if it's something that I know I need to answer, I'll email right back. Phone numbers, again, this is my office number. I'm telling you, I would email me first before you call me. And then the school's overall number is there. My direct supervisor is Ms. Whitfield, or Dean Whitfield, I guess I should say, and her number is there. And this is again our office hours. Now they're considered virtual this semester. I'll tell you, I'm on campus usually for these, but it's 10:50 to 11:50 Monday through Thursday, and then 1 to 2 Monday through Thursday, and then also 9 to 11 on Friday. Now, if you want to meet on Friday, please, actually, I need you to email me if you're going to meet at any time this semester because of the virtual aspect of it. So I need you to email me before we meet. I don't just pop up into my office. But Fridays, I have a lot of meetings. They put a lot of meetings on Fridays for us. So a lot of times Fridays get kind of goofy. So just email me before and I'll find time for you. It's not that I don't want to help you at all. It's that it's Fridays are just kind of goofy. And we have to put 2 hours on Fridays somewhere. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter where I put them, at least 1 to 3 Fridays a semester. These get kind of blown up because of different meetings that pop up. Okay, your book, and I know I went over this in the other video. Excuse me. Your book is a College Algebra 6th edition Blitzer. The cover looks like this. You should be able to search on Amazon with that ISBN number. And real quickly in the chat, because I'm always interested in this, because we've tried to keep it manageable. If you could put in the chat, if you bought it on Amazon or online, how much you paid for it with shipping. And it could be an estimate, but just so other students know how much you paid for it. And then maybe the website you got it from, unless it's some weird, sketchy website. But so how much you paid for it if you've bought it already and what website you use. If you could put that in the chat, I know I would appreciate it. And I bet other students would appreciate it as well. If you haven't bought it, that's fine. This is why you can kind of see how much it's going for. I think it's only like $10 on Amazon. That's my guess, 10 to 15. Now, this is everything we're going to cover, and I'm not going to go over it because we're going to go over it for the entire semester. So if you want to read through that, that's fine. The way this class is really set up is that it's your college level math class. So I do some stuff where it prepares you for, if you want to go on to a trig class or a pre-cal. So some of us have to take even a business cal class. Those are built in, but really it's your college level math class. It's set up too, so like for you guys that are transferring to a 4-year university, it transfers to any 4-year public university in our state. It's part of that system, which is great, and good luck on that. But so it will transfer. If you have any issues with that, just please contact me. You won't have that issue though if it's a 4-year public institution in our state. The grading is very straightforward. Look, we have 5 tests that are worth 100 points, and we have a final exam that's worth 100 points. Okay. Now, I don't think I changed this, and I need to for the test. But the test this semester, just like if you were in the first 7 week, are the same exact thing. They're going to be in Blackboard. You're going to have a certain like an hour and 15 minutes to take it, unless you get with me and have an issue, disability services issue. You'll have an hour and 15 minutes to take it. You've got it'll be multiple choice. If you guys are chatting with me right now, I can't see it because I'm in share mode. but I hope it's just the book, how much you pay for the book. I'll get back to that in a minute. But I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, it's multiple choice, open book. You've got an hour and 15 minutes to take it. Very straightforward. That's not going to be the reason you fail this class. But so anyway, yeah. There's no makeup exams. There's no reason to make up exams because it's not like we're meeting in class. You guys will have still, 2 to 4 days to take an exam. So you need to set aside time to take the exam. And actually, the way I scheduled it this semester, the second 7 week, you can take it during the class time. Yeah. So what I will do is your lowest test score is going to be dropped and replaced with your final exam if it's higher. So let's say the second test you bomb and you make a 40 on, but then the final and all the other ones you do, make B's, 85, 86, 87, something like that. And on the final you make a 75. Well, I'm going to replace that 75 with the lowest test grade. Okay. So with test 2 that you bombed. So hope that makes sense. I'll make more, I'm sure I'll get more questions about that towards the end of the semester, but your final, I'm still going to keep your final grade. It's built into the 600 points, but your final grade will also replace your lowest test grade if it's higher. Okay. Now, if you make A's on all these tests and then you make a 50 on the final, it just won't replace anything it won't replace a regular test. Okay. Grading, normal grading. Nothing crazy. Late assignment. All late assignments will be assessed a 20-point penalty. I will allow makeup tests no more than 2 classes. Okay, wait. That's not true. I've got to take that out of my syllabus. Imagine that's not there. Okay. That I forgot to update the syllabus for the fact that we're fully online now. So we won't have this issue. Okay. So this will not be an issue for us. That will not be in there by the time you go back and look at the syllabus after class. So please disregard that. Late assignment. Hold on. I got to write this down so I don't forget to do that. Okay. Student responsibilities. Again, there's no makeup exams. Don't cheat. Come to class. Okay, I do now. Just like in the first 7 week, you can either now look. We did not have an issue with too many people coming to class. So if you want to come to the actual class, you're more than welcome to. So the seated class, which meets in D106 Monday through Thursday, you're more than welcome to come in there. If we get more than 8, I'm going to have to make a decision on it because I believe we only have 8 seats. But if you do come in there, you've got to make sure to wear a mask. You've got to clean your area. So there's like spray stuff. You got to clean it. And then you got to stay 6 feet away from each other. Okay. So if you decide to come in, that's fine, but just follow those 3 rules. The way I teach it in class is the same way I teach it in my office. I've got a document camera and I just kind of put the video up on the board and while it's playing. So I'm kind of lecturing the same way I do in my office, just with the seated, so you can see my face if you want to see my actual face and not my recorded face. You don't have to come into class at 8 o'clock. If you want to watch these later, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you, if you watch these later, you have to stay on top of the schedule. Just because you watch them later doesn't mean that I'm going to extend the test time. So if you've got to watch that class at least that day or the next day, because once I open a test for 2 or 3 days, that's the only time that test is going to be open. So if you get behind and you're like, oh, I'll watch these lectures 3 or 4 days later, and then you try to catch up, that's not how it's going to work. Okay. It's just not going to work because the way this class goes, it's continually rolling every day. So you're going to miss a test, which means you're going to be late on a test, which means I'm not going to take it. Okay. So if you stay up daily on the test, you'll know exactly what's going on. The schedule, which we'll go over here in a minute, is not set in stone, but you can kind of get an idea of where we're at from the schedule. I hope I answered that kind of intended. So you can either come to class, you can watch the videos after class, or you can watch the videos in Zoom during class. All 3 are fine. And I don't mind each one. I take attendance. I can tell if you've clicked on the video, which we'll get to here in a minute, but I can tell if you've clicked on the video. That's how I can take attendance. Okay. If you have a disability, please get with me. You've got to get with our disability coordinator first. at 508-6262. Get with George and then get with me. That's not a big deal. Title IX, don't harass people. It's kind of easy if you harass people in here. I can just mute you and kick you out. Tobacco statement, I guess you are more than welcome to use tobacco at your house, but if you come to campus, do not use tobacco, please. Food and drink, same thing. I don't know if they've changed the rule about food or drink in the classroom. That's a good question. I know I bring a drink every day, so I don't know though with the COVID stuff if they changed the food policy, but just be respectful and consider it. Technology statement, we are going to use a TI 83 or 84 calculator. You need to buy that as soon as possible, okay? It's a TI 83 or a TI 84, and it could be a TI 84 Plus, a TI 84 Silver Edition. You'll see when you Google search these, you're going to get a lot of options. And it can be a TI 83, it can be an older TI 83. I mean, that TI 83 has been around for 25 years now. It's crazy, but either one is fine. We don't need it. We won't really need that for the first test, but you're going to need it by the second and third test. For some of the stuff that we do, you're going to have a graphing calculator to get to it, especially the third test, especially the third test. Once we get to those sections, you're going to have a TI 83 or 84. And it's part of our student learning outcomes is that you learn technology. So that's part of the built-in curriculum. A writing statement, we won't do any writing this semester because of the online test aspects. Inclement weather, my wife and I, we were talking about this yesterday. I just don't know if we'd have to deal with inclement weather anymore because it's online, which is a bummer. But unless something crazy happens, like the school blows away. Yeah, I'll keep you updated. So make sure to check your email regularly. And really, you need to make sure to check your email daily, your student email, because really, in a way, you're taking an online class. I know it's seated, but you need to check it like it's an online class. You need to check your email daily and just get in that habit of checking it daily or twice a day if it's not on your phone. We do have the tutoring center. Now, this is a little different because of the online aspect, and I'll get you that information. Miss Althea is still helping students. I know she's doing a lot of Zoom meetings. I'm not sure how she's doing face-to-face. And if you find out, let me know, but I will let you know what the information I find out. I will give to you guys. I know that she is helping students, and I believe it's 9 to 3. I know at the beginning of the semester it was through Zoom, but I don't know if that's changed because we've had so much stuff change on campus. So I'll get that information to you as soon as you can. Or if you want that information, get with me, and I'll make sure to look it up. Okay. So the schedule. Now the schedule, guys, this is different than the first 7-week class. I'll tell you, this first week is set in stone. Like today, we're doing introduction on Zoom, so this will be the only day that I won't be in class, really, or we'll go to class. Tomorrow, I'm going to go over 1.5 and 1.7. Wednesday, 2.1. Now, look, Thursday, I have to be in a meeting, and it's it's going to be horrible. It's like an all-day Zoom conference. Ugh. But because of that, I'm going to post a video on Blackboard for 2.6 and 2.2a. Okay, so you'll see it in the lecture videos. I'll show you how to get there here in a second. But you'll see this video. You need to watch this one before we get to week 2 Monday, which is 2.2b. Okay, but here's our 7 weeks. Now the difference is you'll notice there are days for the test. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this day we're not going to meet. Okay, we're not going to meet on test days. I'm just going to open up the test. I'll do a little review if we have time the day before. So where's the first test? There's the first test. Test 1 will be next Tuesday. So 2.2b, when I get done with that, I'll try to do a little review on that first test. And then I'll open it up for 2 days. So I'll open it up for Tuesday and for Wednesday. Okay? Let me write that down. But you're going to have this regular test time to take it. So the class is next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we will not meet in class. Okay. I'm not going to give you a paper test. All the tests are going to be in Blackboard. Okay. So if you come to campus, you can run over to the library and take the test if you'd like to at that time. That's okay. But you will have that. So it's designated days for the test. Now, you guys that are new, that doesn't sound crazy. But last semester, what I just did it a little differently. Okay. did a little differently. And when I realized that it didn't work well on my schedule to do that this semester. Okay, now look, again, this is not set in stone at all. We might get a little ahead, not this first week, but we might get a little ahead, we might get a little behind, and that's a-okay. You've got to follow along with the videos, okay, or come to class. I do have one extra day back here, that review day before the final, and I got to figure out what we're doing with the final this semester because it's a little different, but I will get that information to you as soon as I know, okay? But you can see we've got 5 tests, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll have the final. These last 3 sections won't be on a regular test, but they'll be on the final, okay? And the final, again, will replace your lowest test grade if it's higher than your lowest test grade, okay? That's the schedule. Grade book, you'll see that. I mean, there's nothing in there now. The lecture videos. I want to go over this as well. So if you guys want to come back later and watch the video, if you can't come to class and you want to watch them later in the day, you can't be there at 8 o'clock, or if you just want to watch something that I lectured on earlier in that day, and you're like, I know he went over that example, and I just want to see him watch it again. They'll be in this lecture video playlist. Now, the issue is it's a playlist. So it's not a single video. I know it looks like one. But if you click on this very top right button, you'll see, now this is what we're doing right now, actually, because it's live. But you'll have a drop down of every single video, every single lecture for the class will be right here as we go along, okay? So at the end of class, what I do is I load them into this playlist, and you can go back and watch it. Now, be careful, because sometimes it'll say the lecture is only 30 minutes, and what YouTube is doing is actually loading it in the background. So if it says an hour and 15-minute lecture is 30 minutes, what that means is YouTube's just loading. So give it a little bit of time. We had this issue the first semester, or first 7 week. Give it a little bit of time, and then it'll come through, and it'll have the entire lecture loaded. It seemed like sometimes it took an hour, sometimes it took 2 hours. Sometimes there weren't issues like that. So I don't know if it's just random or whenever, YouTube gets kind of bogged down, or it could be our servers on our campus getting bogged down, which is probably what's happening. Okay, and if you don't come to class, look, I have to take lecture, or I have to take attendance. I apologize. I have to take attendance. And what happens is I've enabled statistics on this video, and I can tell when you've clicked on this, okay? I can tell when you clicked on it. I can tell how long you've been inside of it. Now, sometimes it gets goofy with the YouTube because you can click on YouTube and then click something else, so I don't know. I go off of the clicks. So if you click on this, it means you attended that day if you did not come to the Zoom session or to the seated session. So I know I have a few students that just won't come to class, which is fine. You have things going on. That's how I know. So I go back at the end of the week and I can click on that and see when you've attended and when you have not. Look, it does not count against you. It doesn't help you point-wise by any means. But what does happen is about 3/4 through the way through the semester, I have to give financial aid attendance because if you're on financial aid and you don't come to class, you have to pay that money back because the government is pretty much saying, why am I giving you this money yet you're not coming to class? You're not doing the bare minimum, right? So that's why I have to take attendance. It's not because of a grade system or a point value or anything like that. It's because of financial aid. Now, the first week of class, I have to take attendance a little differently, or I say a little differently. I got to be more on top of it because if you don't come to class in the first week, I have to drop you. I have to drop you as a no-show. So here in a minute, before you guys log out, I'm gonna have to take attendance, and I'm just gonna do it by hand the first time, and that's just how it is. I don't know. I mean, I do know why they do it. It's because if you don't show up, you need to be dropped. It's kind of covering your CYA and CYA me, okay? Whatever that means. Okay. I think I've gone over Blackboard. And I'm going to go back to my screen. And I'm going to look through the chat real fast just to see if you guys... $12 on Amazon. Yes. It's the same one you can get on the bookstore website, right? It is the same one on the bookstore website, Jenny, but I'm going to tell you, it's a lot more expensive at the bookstore. And I know I shouldn't say that. I'm supposed to be a company person, but this is an older edition, and we kept that because it's $12 on Amazon. But but it is the same one. If you want to get the information from the bookstore, it should be the same one as the bookstore. Do I do homework? Yeah, exactly. Do I do homework? I give you homework, Caleb, every day, or every lecture. You'll have homework at the end, but I do not take it up as a grade. It's for you to do to find out if you can actually do the homework or not. So it's really your self-assessment of what you have going on. So yeah, I do homework, but it's not counted as a grade. The grades are from the test, the 5 tests in the final. I'm trying to think. Any other questions or issues? Do you guys have any questions? I mean, we're not done yet, but do you guys have any questions? I'm gonna try to do my attendance, but if your name is different than like your Zoom name, please put it in the chat box. But do you guys have any questions or issues? Or do you guys have any questions about anything on campus? I mean, it doesn't have to be this class. It can be something related to just campus being different because of all the COVID fun stuff. Okay, Sydney. Is it Hoyleman? Are you there, Sydney? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, I don't have you on.
It's Thomas. I got married and changed my last name, so it's Thomas, but it's Holman on Zoom, and I don't know how to change it.
That's fine. No big deal. Just making sure. Got to count you here. And then Sharon, it's Sharon McClashley, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, just making sure before I count you present. Okay. Yeah, Caleb. And again, just to kind of reiterate what Janie said, it's very helpful. And if you ever, so here's the rules for my office hours. If you want to come in and ask me questions in office hours, that's a-okay. But look, you had to have watched the videos or come to class, and then you had to have attempted the homework. Okay. I'm not going to I don't re-lecture in my office hour. Office hours, and if you were going to use a tutoring center, they're really meant for you're working on the homework and something doesn't make sense. You feel like maybe I didn't go over it. And sometimes that happens, and I'll say, oh yeah, I'll hit that at the beginning of class. I always reserve the beginning of the lecture for homework questions. So if you just want to wait for that time as well, that's a-okay. So like tomorrow when I give homework from 1.5 and 1.7, and you're working on it, and then you just want to ask me in class the next day, that's fine. And I'll tell you, it's an everyday class, so sometimes it's hard to hit the homework. If you're like a day or two behind on the homework, that's fine. It's okay if you want to ask me like a homework question from 2 lectures ago, because I understand sometimes it's hard to get all of the homework in before the next lecture. And I try to be upfront on, hey, you've got to get this homework set done before the next class, because it goes directly to, like, some stuff won't make sense. If you don't get the homework in for some sections, it won't make sense. The next lecture won't make any sense. You'll kind of be struggling on the next lecture if you're already struggling on that lecture. I'm trying to think if there's any other things from you guys that were in the first 7-week developmental. Can think of anything else we hit. I mean, I've tried to clean up a lot of stuff. I had issues with you guys really are going to get a better class because I had so many issues with Blackboard and with the grade book and with all this stuff. I've learned a lot about Blackboard the first 7 week. And if you see something that does not look right, please email me so I can fix it, or I can explain why it is. Okay. So if you see something that does not make sense like that, I'm glad I went over the syllabus because there was stuff on there that I kind of reused the syllabus from last semester, but a lot of stuff's changed since last semester. So if you see something that does not make sense, please get in touch with me. Please ask me. It's a very valuable trait to learn, to ask questions if you need help, right? I don't know if that's necessarily a skill, but just something that we all need. Okay. Any questions? I wonder if I can edit my trash out of this. There, I've edited my trash can out of the video. Okay, well, I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes, and I'm going to stop the recording.